Hello and welcome back to Short Transit. Today, we're going to fly on Zipair, an airline that claims to be a new basic airline. It's one of two rather unique low-cost carriers that operates almost exclusively medium to long-haul routes from Japan, unlike like Airasia X from Malaysia. So let's see how basic this airline can really be and whether or not you should fly with them on your next holiday to Japan. Let's just say it's definitely not the most basic airline I've flown with for sure. Hello and welcome to Terminal 1 of Singapore Changi Airport. Today, we're here to check out Zipair on a red-eye overnight flight to Tokyo Narita. For those who don't know, Zipair is Japan Airlines' very interesting attempt at a low-cost airline. An airline that only flies out of Tokyo Narita to mainly medium to long-haul destinations in Southeast Asia and North America. Currently, they fly as far east as Houston in the United States and as far west as Singapore, with a fleet consisting of only Boeing 787 Dreamliners. If that sounds familiar to you, fellow Japanese airline Air Japan also operates with a similar low-cost carrier model, with the main difference being it doesn't fly to North America unlike Zipair. We happen to have it reviewed already on the channel, so make sure to check out that video to see what that airline is like right after this video. I'll also do a mini comparison between the two airlines at the end, so do stay tuned. Okay, now back to the Zipair experience. Check-in for Zipair is located at row 14 in Terminal 1. Like most low-cost carriers, Zipair gives you the option to check in online. However, this only works if you're flying out of Narita. Thus, manual check-in we go. With check-in completed, it's time to head into airside. Check-in was relatively fast and seamless, but it seems that they're quite strict about the 7kg carry-on that you're allowed to bring on the plane. So do ensure your bags are under the weight limit before checking in. I still had about 2 hours before boarding, so I decided to plane spot for a bit while waiting for the gate to open. And here it is, the Dreamliner that will be taking us to Tokyo tonight. Now that it has arrived, it's time to head to our gate C13. Taking me to Tokyo tonight is Juliet Alpha 850 Juliet, a 2.5-year-old Boeing 787-8, which just happens to be one of Zipair's newest aircraft. Love it or hate it, the livery of this plane is truly the embodiment of basic, with only a green shade line across the windows and an airline logo typed out in Times New Roman. Heck, even the tail used to only have a letter Z painted on it, until it was replaced due to a very unfortunate connotation with a particular war in Europe. Not long later, it's time to board. Quite curious to see what the cabin is like. Turning right into the cabin, we can see that Zipair has configured the 787s with 272 jet black Recaro seats in a 333 configuration, which is very typical for Boeing 787s nowadays.
Stowing your baggage to avoid possible injury.
Ahead of economy, there's 18 zip full flat seats in a 121 configuration, a product that Zipair is very careful not to call business class. Here's my seat at 48 Alpha, a window seat on the left side of the aircraft. Since this is a low-cost airline, there are no amenities like pillows or blankets even though it's an overnight flight, but you can always bring your own or purchase it on the plane. Boarding soon completed and the doors closed. We started our pushback, beginning our 7-hour journey to Tokyo.
All passengers, we will be taking off shortly. Thank you.
Now that we're airborne, let's talk more about the route we're flying on today. The Singapore to Tokyo Narita route is a very popular route for leisure passengers and some business plus connecting travellers, with a total of 6 airlines operating on the route. Prices start from as low as $196 one way on the low-cost carriers or around $600 one way on the full-service airlines, although you can sometimes get quite a big discount if you're flying round trip. As with past years, fares to Japan do surge massively during the December school holidays due to high demand, so do take that into consideration if you intend to travel during that period. Now that we're in the air, it's time to take a look at our seats here on board Zipair. The seat has a surprisingly spacious 31 inches of pitch and 17 inches of width, making it almost in the league of full-service airlines. The seat also features a bifold tray table, a USB-A power point, and a universal power outlet, which can be found underneath the seat. Zipair does not have any in-flight entertainment screens, but they have installed a small pull-down tray to hold your device near eye level. For a decently sized seat with free power, I've definitely sat on more basic seats on other airlines. As to why I said they are careful not to call their lie-flat seats business class, there's actually no special service on board if you're sitting in that cabin, so there's no food, lounge, or even baggage allowance included in the ticket just like in economy. It's definitely a very unique product offering in the airline world. Oh, and did I tell you there's free Wi-Fi on board the plane? Wi-Fi speed-wise, it's pretty decent for airplane Wi-Fi, especially since it's free. On top of the free Wi-Fi, there's a portal for streaming entertainment too, which mostly just consists of Japanese shows and films, an in-flight shopping catalogue, and a portal for buy on-board meals. There's also a basic in-flight moving map that shows our flight progress. About 90 minutes after takeoff, the meal service commenced. I know it's a little late for a meal, but I pre-ordered a beef gyudon because it looks quite good in the pictures. The meal comes with a small bottle of water and a set of plastic cutlery. First impressions, the dish looks a bit on the watery side, but it still somewhat looks like the one in the photo when I purchased it on the website. Can't wait to give it a taste. Taste-wise, the rice was a tad soggy. However, the slices of beef were quite decent, with the beef marinade perfectly balanced, sweet, savoury with a hint of garlic, and the onions complemented very well with the beef. Overall, it was delicious and filling, especially for budget airline catering. Soon after the meal service, I decided to sleep. Or at least I tried to. The seat, in my opinion, was not exactly the most comfortable, but I somehow managed to get some sleep eventually. I woke up to a sprinkle of sunlight over the horizon. You know, there's nothing more poetic than approaching the land of the rising sun at sunrise, knowing it marks the beginning of a great holiday in Japan. As we begin our descent into Tokyo Narita, I can say that Zipair is a pretty decent alternative over the full-service airlines flying the route. The seats are quite spacious for a low-cost carrier, and you get amenities like free Wi-Fi and power ports, features that may be absent even on full-service airlines serving the route. The service on board was quite decent too, with a polite and fast service by the Japanese crew. As to how Zipair compares to fellow budget airlines like Air Japan or Scoot, this is how I would rank the three airlines from first to third. Air Japan no doubt wins in catering and seat comfort, as it's really hard to beat the experience of eating sushi in the air and having an inch more pitch between the economy seats. Meanwhile, Zipair wins in in-flight connectivity, as there's free and relatively quick Wi-Fi on board, instead of only having an online portal with limited selection of shows. You might potentially be able to grab the full flat seats for a good price too, if you don't mind paying more for a lie flat seat. As for Scoot, yeah, just hope your seat is not broken or something. Welcome to Tokyo Narita. It feels great to travel to Japan comfortably while burning a smaller hole in my pocket. To conclude, I recommend Zipair if you don't mind not having in-flight entertainment, food, luggage allowance, or the usual amenities offered by full-service airlines, as you might be able to save yourself hundreds of dollars while travelling in similar comfort to a full-service airline. With that, we've come to the end of this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on your next short transit.